Gage is on the beat.
I was sitting in your chair wondering if I could do this. Fast forward 20 months, I'm talking about how to sell 50K in a month. So how you start to sell 50K in a month is being very intentional. And what I mean by that is you don't just trip and fall and issue pay 50K. You have to do it very intentionally. So you're not gonna issue pay 50K without leads. So it starts with leads. Leads is the #1 thing. It's the lifeblood of this business. And so we're all gonna come into this business with different budgets. And whatever budget you're coming in with, you can make it work. Whether it's $200, whether it's $500, whether it's $1,000, whether it's $2,000, whether you got 30. Most people don't come into this with a lot of capital. And the reason why I say whatever budget you come in with works, because we have dollar leads, we have $2 leads, $3 leads, $9 leads, $11 leads, all the way up to $80 leads. So whatever your budget you're coming in with, you can make it work. Because it's not about what type of lead you get, it's about how many leads you can get. So if you're coming into this with $200, I would get as many $2 or $3 leads as I possibly can get. And working those. Not just calling them one time, oh, these are old leads. I filled that out a year ago. It doesn't matter. These people still need our help because out of those thousands of 3-month-old leads that are in the CRM, there's thousands of families that need our help and never got helped. And so realizing that the 3-month, 2-month, 1 month, that doesn't matter. Whatever that title is your mind that's going to tell you that these leads are old, or these people don't need my help, or I did that a year ago. I mean, they just came out with the age final expense leads that are like 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, and people are killing it. People are going out there and just seeing these people who requested our help 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, and don't have life insurance. So that's what you guys got to realize, that whatever budget you're coming in with works. And so I would suggest that you reach out to your upline or whoever brought you into the business and get a lead strategy with whatever budget you're coming in with. And so what leads should I buy? You should buy all of them. Whether they're old, they're new, whatever you can afford. Because what I like, Moises isn't going to like. Maybe the same type of leads. What I like, Tanner might not like those type of leads. So you have to try them out yourself. Figure out what leads you like. Because they all work. But we all have a preference. We're human. We have opinions. That's okay. So figure out what works with you. And so diversifying your lead flow. Because your lead flow is the key to the engine to this business. Once you master your lead flow, you'll be up here talking. Trust me, at one of the conferences, at one of the BDMs, at convention, whatever the circumstance may be. And so mastering your lead flow is diversifying it. Getting some internet leads, getting some Facebook final expense leads, getting some old mail leads, locking out some counties. There's plenty of land for all of us to grab. I mean, Jordan is about to open up an office in South Carolina and got over 10 counties locked out there. And he just inquired about it. So there's land everywhere. You just have to be intentional about mastering your lead flow. So once you got your leads, booking the appointments is the most important thing. And so being intentional when you're dialing. It's not buying leads the night before. It's not buying leads at 6:30 in the morning. It's buying leads 2 days beforehand. It's buying leads 24 hours before your dial day. Having them printed out the night before. So when you get to the office at 7, you can dial at 7:30. Now you're like, well, I don't have an office near me. There's an office around you. You can drive to it. Eastern Patton is probably one of the best producers in FFL. It says you can drive 90 minutes every morning. And you know what he did for those 90 minutes and still does? He listens to trainings. So that's my next topic, is that you have to get obsessed with the trainings. I'm nothing special. But I tell you what, I can't even tell you what the top 2 or 3 songs are in the world today. Because I don't listen to music anymore. Music doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is building a really big business and providing for my family. So you gotta get obsessed with the training, because there's boatloads of training. I mean, you could spend weeks on YouTube watching training on FFL. And the best part is it's free. So you have the opportunity to make this opportunity whatever you want it to be. You can be a 5K producer if you're cool with that, good for you. If you want to be a 20K producer, there's a lot of people doing that. If you want to be a 50K producer, there's a lot of people doing that. We have people doing 100,000 in a month consistently. And so there's nothing special or nothing unique about them. It's just they're intentional with what they're doing. So once again, it comes back about intentionality. So when you're booking appointments, it's not just dialing them one time, it's dialing them 3 times. And I'll be the first one to tell you guys, I did not want to dial 3 times. I hit it twice. I don't want to do that next week. I don't want to do that. But I promise you guys, looking back at it now, I booked more appointments on that 3rd dial than that 1st and 2nd dial combined. And that's no lie. I don't know what it is, but that 3rd dial separates you from the telemarketers, separates you from the solar guy that's trying to get the panels on the house. So you have to be intentional and be different than telemarketers. 7:30 to 8 o'clock, great time to dial. Because you know who's not calling? Telemarketers. You know another really good time to dial? 7 to 9 o'clock. Well, Gage, that's kind of late. Well, no one else is calling them between 7 and 9 o'clock. And we have to realize that we got the early birds and we got the night owls. So you're going to hit the early birds from about 8 till about 3 o'clock, right? And around 3 o'clock is the 8 a.m. for the night owls. So at 7 o'clock, that's a 3 p.m. And realizing that, like these people thrive in the evenings and no one's calling them. Come on over, honey. Yeah, I filled that out. Like you wouldn't believe the amount of extra appointments you can get from 7 to 9 o'clock. Once again, being different and being intentional. So the next step is the scheduling, right? You don't issue pay 50K with 15 appointments on the books, right? It's 30 in a week, at least. You're not gonna write 50K with 20 appointments a week. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen. But if you have 30, if you have 35, now you have at-bats. That's what you guys gotta realize here, is we just have to hit singles, doubles, triples, and the home runs come. Is we're not gonna hit home runs all the time. You see it in the Facebook groups, you see it on Instagram, but that's not every time. You don't see, I can't even tell you who the home run person is in the MLB because I don't even watch sports anymore. And I was obsessed with sports, but whoever is leading the MLB in home runs, like they don't hit home runs every single day, right? They hit them every single week. You better believe that. And so it's realizing that you just gotta get at-bats. If you got 30 at-bats, it's gonna be a hell of a lot better than 20 at-bats. You got 10 more opportunities to hit a single, to hit a double, to hit a triple, to hit a home run. And that's gonna be the difference between someone who puts up 10K consistently a week and someone who puts up 5K consistently a week. It's those extra 5, 10 appointments. And so, Easton Patton hopped on our team's call a couple weeks ago, and he said that he starts dialing at 7:30, he takes a break at noon, and he dials from 1 until it's done. Not 1 to 6, not 1 to 7, 1 until it's done. The job is done. And so once again, it goes back about being intentional. So once you have the appointments booked, if there's any white space in your calendar, you have to utilize Road Warrior. So there's an application called Road Warrior. And if you don't got much money, you can get 8 stops for free. But if you got a little bit of money, it's a tax write-off, download it, get the program, and you can put it in as many stops as you like. And it will optimize your route and save you hours of driving around and door knocking. And so that takes me to my next thing is if you're not door knocking, then you're leaving money on the table. You're not resolving their leads because these people requested our help. And let's be honest, they get their phone blown up because they're people who fill out forms. Not a lot of people fill out forms. So they're getting calls from all types of people. And so what I realized is I was really bad on phones. For about 4 months straight, I sucked. And so I tell my new agents, hey, embrace the suckiness and make up what you lack in numbers with activity. So I knew that I needed to talk to people. I needed to communicate to people. And 10-second hang-up isn't communicating to people. That's not getting your communication skills stronger. So I went out and I was a door knock king. So I was out there consistently just interacting with people. So it's building the muscle, being intentional about building the muscle. Now, my other topic is how to get to EVP. And so how you get to EVP is building your network here at FFL. And what I mean by that is not your upline, or your manager's manager in your group. Your network is your net worth. And once again, like I told you guys, we're in a room with a handful of millionaires that are willing to give back to you and teach you what they did to get to that point. So when I started reaching out, other than to Jordan, which is my upline, I started reaching out to Rob Richmond. I started reaching out to Jesse Farley. I started reaching out to Marcus Murray. Because your network is your net worth. That's all the time I got, guys. I hope you guys